See a damn thing. Hello. Oh, there we go. Let's have a live chat. Guess where I'm sitting? I'm sitting outside. And you never guess what I'm sitting on. Look at this. Ah, there we go. Hey, you want to go for a drive? Look what I'm sitting on. Can you see what I'm sitting on? Hang on. Do it this way. I can't really see the bloody picture. Where is it? Screwed on. Yeah. Look at that. Brand new bloody tractor tyre. Yeah. Yeah, look, a bloody roll bar, look. Let's go for a drive. Oh, let's go for a drive in my little tractor. Oh, God. You ready? Let's go. You want to go for a drive in tractor? Well, no, I'm not. No, my ankles are buggered. Anybody want to go? You know, I keep saying to people, I keep saying to people on live streaming, they don't believe me. I've got a tractor sitting in my backyard in the heart of Sydney. Well, there you go. Look, bloody tractor. Look, see, I got the new dash. The dickhead lost a buddy, put the bolts on it in the back. Now going to go drive me bloody mad. It does. So look, big old Massey Ferguson, 1956. See, all new tyres on it. Check this out. Look at that. There's me right on lawnmower. You know what the peanut did? I drove it out of the shed, brought it round. I put in that very trailer, and I took it down to an auto mechanic, and he used the air rattle gun, and he took the two cutting blades, and he put two brand new ones on. So I brought it home, put the mower there in the backyard, and this bloody dickhead walks out the back when I'm asleep and pulls the friggin' motor apart. And then he shoves a screwdriver inside the carburetor and stuffed it. Now, I'll give you a clue how long ago that was. So, of course, little white thing over there doesn't have a tow ball, does it? So I can't tow the car away. So I ring up. I said, well, can you come around and tow me trailer when we ride on lawnmower, take it up the other farm so I can go and get it fixed? 5 months later, finally gets towed up there. My brother has a go at it. And he comes back and he said, that bastard bloody touched your bloody mower. He said, I want to kill him. I said, what did he do? He said, he stuck a screwdriver in through the carburetor. So for Christmas, this is my own blood brother, he's going to buy me a new carburetor for the ride-on lawnmower. There's nothing freaking wrong with it. I drove it onto the trailer, got the new blades on it, got up in the morning to come out here to mow the back lawn, $3,000 ride-on lawnmower. Bloody thing's even got a bloody tow ball on it. I mean, I used to build everything before I got sick. Can you see it? Look, you have a look. You'll see a tow ball. Right, there's a tow ball there. And I used to trade that other big trailer up there. And what they did, that big trailer had a canopy on it. When I was sick and I come out of hospital, there's no canopy on it. They cut the bastard off because they wanted to park their car inside my canopy so their car wasn't out in the sun like my other two cars, which are up here. You see those two cars up the back? They just had over $2,000 spent on them. They're roadworthy. Yeah, you can go and get them registered. Just go up there, charge up the battery, start the bastards up, out the gate. Full motor, oil, service, everything. Brakes, transmission filters, transmission oil filters, transmission oil, engine oil filters, air filters. All the brakes have been serviced, everything. One's had new alternator. That was $700 for the alternator because it's a bloody East-West computer car. You know, there's $3,000 there. And then on top of that, I got my purple FJ40, the one I said, oh, you know, I'll take for a drive up there to Blue Mountains. But my problem is I can't use my ankles. I can't even get in the bloody shed to go up there to Blue Mountains. That's why I want a cameraman. Right? This is why I want a cameraman. I'm going to quite happily, I'm going to give away one of those 2 cars. Right? Quite happily give it away. I just want to get rid of them. And if you don't see the other one, this is another one. Did you see the 3rd car? Have a look. It's a vintage car. It's a 1993, which means next year, was it the year after? Yeah, year after, it comes under vintage. It's a bloody little old Nissan Pintara. And people think, oh, bloody Nissan, bloody Pintara. What do you want a bloody Nissan Pintara for? That bloody little Nissan Pintara, on my song where I say, I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. You know, and I went all the way down to Geelong, because in the song it says Geelong. Well, that car's been to bloody Geelong. That's how I've been to bloody Geelong. And there it is there. Look, you have a look. I'll show you. You can see the nose sticking outside the garage. And there's a guy gets on the channel. His name's Matthew Coit. Now, no, he's not the bloody comedian Coit that gets on there, runs around and gets half eaten by crocodiles. But you know what the funny thing is? The name Coit in slang in Australia means a bumhole. So my Matthew Coit said, come on, arsehole. Yeah, we won't go into that. Yeah, I borrowed Matthew Coit's mobile phone there one day and I used it, film up there with Aerawang. I had to put my Google password into his phone, and when I got home the next day, and the next day when I got up, the bastard deleted all my bloody Google stuff out of my Google account. Never seen you again, have I, Matthew Coit? No, because you're a Coit, and you know what a Coit is? No, I'm done. You know what? Because I write everything down. I got all my passwords and everything else written down anyway. And all my account numbers and all my friends' phone numbers. I'm an old school mate. I write things down on pen and paper. So what do I need? I need a cameraman, a bloke who do editing and sound. Now, I just went down to see my mate Tran, T-R-A-N, Tran, BZ Electronics down there in St Mary's. Get down and see him. BZ Electronics. And I said to him, oh, listen, I'm going to go buy myself a new camera and microphone and all the rest to go do all this YouTube stuff. I've already got the new computer. He scratched me bloody head. Bloody showed me head. Yeah, I'm sitting outside. You know, this is the first time I sat outside in the last couple of months. I just couldn't be bothered. Look, you look at, look, nice new steering wheel. Look at that, eh? Look at that, brand new. Never been used. Look, not an ounce of sweat on it. Not an ounce of sweat. In other words, yeah, it hasn't been used. Anyway, so what are we doing? So I lined it up now. I'm going to go into JB Hi-Fi or somewhere else. And if you don't know what Mr. Hominoid does, what I do is I walk in there and I dress up as a bum. Yeah, I let my whiskers grow. I look like I'm a dopey old grandfather, you know. I'm not dopey. I think you all know that on my channel. I'm not dopey. And I like to see how many shop attendants and these customer service agents discriminate you. Now, why I do it? Now, he said, why do I do it? Well, there was a guy in Sydney, was it New York or somewhere? I think he was in America. And he had tattoos. He had tattoos all over his forehead, and tattoos up around his face, and he had tattoos all over his whole body, right? He had all tattoos. And he stood there in the street, and he asked for money. People went and walked away from him. And I don't know, have you ever seen this guy on TV? He's on YouTube. Discrimination. It's a discrimination video. So he sits out there And then he goes and gets makeup done. And they put this, the false skin over their face like latex. And they cover up all these tattoos. So it looks like me, no tattoos. I don't have a tattoo on my body. Not one. Look, I hate needles. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I make a lousy pin cushion, I'll tell you. Ooh, I'd run away. Anyway, get it? You my sense of humour. Anyway, so he put this latex on his face, and covered up all the thing, and they'd done the makeup, and they made him pretty, done all the rest of the crap. And then they covered him, then they put him in a suit. No, not a suit, nice set of clothes. The next day, he stood out in the exact same corner at the same time with the same sorts of people. And they actually documented which were the same people that were coming past. And because he had no tattoos on his face, these people then started putting money in his hat. So don't tell me discrimination doesn't happen in 2021, 2022, or 2020, or back in 2017. It still goes on to this day. And you've got all these anti-discrimination laws. So what I like to do, I like to play the dumb grandpa, right? And my story is, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to see what sort of deal they give me. And I'm going to say, I've got to put on a payoff account. I've got to put on a zip pay or an afterpay or some other these new technology things. And the only time I ever got caught there once was I went into somewhere and this guy said, I know who you are, you're Mr. Ominoid. He said, I subscribe to your channel. He said, you can't trick me. He said, I got you. And he said, I'll bug you. You got me. So anyway, so I still want a cameraman, I want an editor, and a sound guy, audio guy. So I'm going to go out there. It's New Year's Eve tomorrow, right? So this is 27th, 28th, or whatever, December. It's just Christmas, 2 days ago. What's the day? Tuesday. Christmas is on Saturday. What's that? 24, 26, 27, 28. 28. Yeah, but getting old. I still got my head injury up here, I still got to stop and think. But I still, crafty old grey-headed old fox. You've got to be nowadays with these young guys. They think because you get old, they can put it over you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go JB Hi-Fi. I might go, I don't know, Penrith, Parramatta, Blacktown. I'll go anywhere, I did the same thing there once to Harvey Norman. Now, Jerry Harvey Norman is a guy that multi-millionaire. And I learned it off him. He walked into it. I'm getting wet here now. Yeah, it's starting to bloody rain. Christ, you would bloody believe it, would you? It's starting to bloody rain. As soon as you get outside the first time, it starts to rain. Anyway, he got dressed up as a bum. Well, not quite as a bum, but as an old man. He had the beard and the bloody all the rest. He paid a couple of $1,000 for it. I don't pay a couple of $1,000 for it. I just wear me cowboy. I just wear me Cuba hat. And I let my whiskers grow. I can't talk like this, Being my grandson's getting like that, I mean, would that work for my grandson? So let's see what sort of deal I get. So anyway, I went round to Harvey Norman. And this guy, and I said to him, I want a laptop with a SIM card in it to make, sorry, not a laptop, a tablet to make phone calls. I said, so I can get data and upload. Now, if you remember a couple of years ago, we had the big stormwater, a storm broke from the big drought we had here in Australia back in 2018, 2019. And all the sheep and cattle were dying in the outback and the dust. And I filmed red dust from Central Australia at Ayers Rock was sitting just over here in the heart of Sydney. The red dust was sitting here in my backyard on that bloody trailer, sitting right down there. There's red dust from the Australian outback. That's 2,500 kilometres away. It's over 200 miles or whatever. 2,000 miles away. Red dust clouds were blowing in here. I still got the red dust sitting in there in my 1977 Holden Kingswood. It's still got red dust on it from the Australian outback, from the dust storms 2 years ago. Anyway, what's the matter? Hey, it's a car. It's a piece of metal. You count because you're alive. You're a breathing human being. See, I don't care if the whole world burns down. I don't care if the caravan burns down, the tractor burns down, the truck burns down, the cars burn down, the house burns down, everything else burns down. Doesn't matter. I'm an Aussie, right? We go through bushfires, right? And that's what happens. You get your homes burnt down, like in California bushfires. So you know what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do, as long as you're all right, the main thing is you only get one life. You've got to look after yourself. And this is my way of dealing with stress and all the other dramas in life that I've been through. I'm over 60. Mate, I shouldn't say this on camera, but I picked up four kids that got run over by trains when I was 18 years old. And the kids were only 15 years old and they got hit by trains. They ran out in front of a train. Imagine what that was like for an 18-year-old guy walking down the road, picking up a 15-year-old kid, putting him in a rubbish bin. There's still a bucket. Because back in them days, we didn't have occupational health and safety. We didn't have shields and masks, and we just went to work wearing a uniform, and that was it. And I had the power of arrest. I could arrest you on a railway station, put a set of handcuffs on you. Nowadays, we don't exist anymore. We don't have railway staff anymore. What else have I done? Yeah, I shot blokes. Yeah, I've shot and killed 3 blokes in my life. Yeah, a lot of people don't realise that, Mr. Omeroyd. I talk about it. I talk about Cambodia. Yeah, I just pulled him out and shot him. That was my job. I live with it. We deal with it life every day. It's like bushfires, floods. Anyway, I just hope you enjoy the channel. I'm an old man. I ain't got long to go. I mean, I'm not going to live for 100. No way. But mate, the amount of knowledge I've got up here in my brain. Did you know in Cambodia there's over 2,000 new species of animals, minerals, everything, plant life, insects, animals, birds, whatever been discovered since Pol Pot regime finished. And now these ex-soldiers now are running up there through Cambodia. And they used to be the militants, run around up in the foothills up there for 20 years with guns, shooting the army of Pol Pot. And now they're tour guides. And they take all these American scientists and British scientists and Australian scientists. And they went up there in the first 6 months, they catalogued 2,000 unknown species. 2,000 unknown species. So what I call myself Mr. Hominoid. People say there's no such thing as a Bigfoot. They say there's no such thing as a Yowie. Well, that's funny. You better go down and watch MBTV. You look, see these things that walk along. Now, there's a thing called a bloke called Mr. Thinker Thunker. Get in and have a look at him. Thinker Thunker, he's over there in America. And he done the thing. He done the Paddy. Remember Paddy? From walks over there in was it California or Washington State or wherever Paddy was, Bobo always talks about it. You know Bobo Faye? Yeah, Bobo Faye actually knows me. Yeah, Bobo Faye out of Finding Bigfoot knows me by name. Because Bobo and I sometimes have quite lengthy little chats, And he was out here in Australia, and he was up there at Fingal Head. And I said, Bobo, what are you doing at Fingal Head? I said, I'm just down the road, you silly sausage. And, oh, really? You're not Big Bobo. Oh, really? You're down? Oh, yeah. And then Matt Moneymaker, you get in, what's that Australian adventure where Matt Moneymaker go and Bobo and Renee and Cliff, and they come out here and they go out there to Moolumbar. Yeah, that's where they were, Moolumbar. Wollumbar means my campsite. Wollumbar means land of the many possums. Oh, mate, I've done that for years. Poor old rocker over there in America. I might torment the shit out of you. Oi, rocker. There you going, son. There you go. Look, you finally got to see me. Yeah, the Holden's over there in the shed, but I'm not going to show too much around where I am. Because since I show where this is, if I go walking out the front, show the house, every bastard's going to come in and try and bloody steal stuff or vandalise it or whatever, you know, or come knocking on my door and say, oh, can I please have a new radio? Can you buy me a new car? Can you? Oh, piss off. Go and do what I did. Go and get a job. Go and earn it. Anyway, I'm retired. I'm just having fun. This is my little bit of fun. My little tractor. You know, I just have a bit of fun. Hey, Gert on. Here he comes. Look. Here comes Mr. Dog. Hey, Dog Lips. Where you going? Hello. What are you doing down there? You're sneaking around. Look at you. I think I had the camera on him. Did I have the camera on him? Will you leave me a comment? No, I'll just play back and watch it. What else we got? Who else we got on the channel? Anybody else there watching? Let me have a look. Live chat. Come on. Live chat. Come on. It's visible. Come on. Oh, where is the bloody thing? Live chat, all messages are visible. Some messages such as potential spam may not be visible. Oh, okay. Right, so you on there? Right, now hang on. This thing here says I can turn the camera out. Oh, hang on. We'll get a bird out of here somewhere. Where is he? Oh, man. You know the big Australian storms you hear about on Australia? I just realised I've had a big storm here in the backyard. Check this out. You can see a snapped off branch. You want to know how strong the wind is in this place? It snapped the gates off the side of the house, smashed the wall off the side of the house and broke the big, your 4x2s and your timbers in your house. It snapped them. Yeah, inside of my house. See that bird? Hey, want to have a look? I see if I can get this camera to turn around. I will tip the camera sideways. So I don't know if it's going to work. I've never done this before. Oh, man, I start to sound like a bloody virgin. Hang on. There we go. There's my tractor. Does that work? No. Oh, okay. What do we got? See, look up there. Can you see that? See, look, snapped off. See? Right there. See? Where's my arm? Hey, look, it snapped it off. That's up there. That's up there with all my lorikeets here. You know, Dog Lips? He's a funny old Nick. He just walks around the backyard. Hey, that's not very nice. You don't do that on camera. Jeez, bloody go and put your pants on. Hey, talking to you. You know, that's the first time I've actually ever seen him cock his leg. He's just got down like a girl. Hey, what are you tell Gert on? Where's your pants? Go and put your pants on, right? Bloody dog walks around and no bloody pants on. Yeah, that's a 1993 EB Ford. Yeah, that there was my father's. It got written off 3 times. Yep. I got it back from the insurance company. And they just replaced the door skin on the driver's door. And I parked over at Richmond in Western Sydney that afternoon after I picked it up from Mascot down in Sydney. I come out and here's some bloody trolley went smashed straight into it, right on the brand new door skin. So I then had to claim against the shopping centre. Then they had to fix it, which they do have insurance for it. And then I got it back and I drove it back down to Botany. And I was parked up a dead-end road. And next thing you know, a bloody truck reversed into the bonnet and smashed the whole bonnet in. And the guy left me a note. He said, I'm sorry I ran into your car with my truck up a dead-end street, Moore Street, M-O-O-R-E, Moore Street, Banks Meadow. Get down and have a look at it. You see where it is. It's a dead-end road off a back road in the back of Banks Meadow. And of all bloody places, this guy had to turn around, chuck his truck around to get a U-turn. Bloody 6.5 hours after I got the car back from the panel beaters for the second time. Anyway, so then I get out of there, and 6 months later, I'm driving up out the back over here on a road called Forrester Road at North St Mary's. And this great big bloody truck comes out of Links Road, Links, Links Road. And he turns right and comes out on the Forrester Road, and I'm coming down the old Richmond, what they call Richmond Road. And I veer round to the left, so like, I'll turn the camera around so you can sort of see what I'm talking about. And you come down the hill and you turn round to your left. He come out and he turned around to the right, and his bloody wheel nuts went straight in through the back driver's side, which is the back, our driver's side. Like we drive on the right hand side, we drive on the left side of the road, steering wheel's on the right. So the right hand rear corner. He put the bloody wheel nuts straight through the top of the back wheel frame, like just above the mudguard. Put the wheel nuts, ripped the whole bloody metal right out of it. And I just, Jesus freaking Christ. So then I chased the bastard, got his number plate, got him pulled over. He told me to go and get stuffed. So I took down his number plate and I went down to the cops, and the cops went down and charged him for failing to exchange driver's details. And then went around to see the owner of the truck, because I found out where he was. That wasn't hard because he came out of Links Road, and I went up there one night. I went up there having a look around in the what kind of them? I had another matching blue one, exactly the same. And the guy thought it was that car, and he said, "Look, there's nothing wrong with your bloody car." I said, "Mate, it's a matching car. I've got two identical EB blue Fords at the time. I've got photographs that prove it." I sold the other one now. Anyway, so then he turned around, and next thing you know, he said, "Oh, you know, I'll fix you up there with the money. Come back here on Monday." This is on the Friday afternoon. Come back there on the Monday, and here's the whole bloody factory. The whole factory premises was empty. He pissed off. He done the runner on the owner of the factory. He owed him rent. So he was storing his trucks in there, running a trucking business, and he pissed off. So I just took it home there, fixed it up myself, and because I'm an automotive structural engineer, it cost me $20. Yeah, $20. $25 for a can of blue spray paint, just a matching coat. The rest of it I just folded back in, pressed it out, heated it, shrunk it. And I didn't even weld it. Didn't even bother welding it, because I managed to get it so close and that I put not bog. I used what we call a metal putty, and I metal puttied it all up, and I done all that. So yeah. So anyway, so I fixed that up again. Then this is 1, 2, 3, 4 car crashes it had. And of course the insurance company said, "Oh, no. Oh, look, we'll just write it off." I said, "No, wait." And then one day this dickhead rang me up and he said, "Oh, could you come into Sydney and use that great big trailer over there? You see that huge, great big trailer? See the size of it? Double axle trailer, self-independent brakes. Yeah, it's registered." And he said, "Oh, can you come in and move my shop for me?" I said, "Where are you moving to?" He said, "Oh, I've got to move out of Bent Street in the city." He said, "I'm moving everything out to my house out at, where did he move to? Kirraween, out near Blacktown." So I'm using that blue Ford with that big trailer with that canopy on it around the corner there, which you can't see. Load it all up, and this dickhead went in there with me. He puts in all this heavy metal steel. He doesn't tell me. So I'm driving down the road. I said, "Mate, what the hell did you bloody put in this bloody trailer?" I'm driving down the road with this trailer with the big doors on it, which means it acts like a sailboat. And the next thing you know, my car goes up the hill. You can go look it up, Mays Hill, M-A-Y-S, Mays Hill at Parramatta. You come along the M4 motorway, go and look at the Google Earth. It goes up this gradual fucking hill. And next thing you know, my motor dies. I pull over to the side of the road. I got no bloody compression. It blew the bloody pistons out of my motor, burnt the bloody rings out of the original motor. So luckily I'm with the NRMA, National Road Motorists Association of New South Wales. So I ring them up. And they come out and they say, well, unhook the trailer. I said, right. So I went and got some blocks and I put it behind the back wheels of the trailer. He said, what are you doing that for? I said, mate, we're on a bloody hill. I said, you think I'm stupid? So even though I put the handbrake on, but the handbrake's on the front of the trailer, on the two front wheels. And this is on a hill, pointing uphill, you see. And I knew what was going to happen. It was going to tip up. And my handbrake and run backwards down the hill, smash into about bloody 30 cars coming along the motorway doing 110 k's an hour. I'm not stupid. So I said, listen, we'll do it another way. I said, use one of those big long safety chains you got. He said, what do you mean? I said, you got those big long chains inside your tow truck. I said, you got to have them when you pull something out of the river. Oh, yeah, he says. So he goes to get his tow truck, hooked this great big chain on the back of his tow truck, and I run it down underneath that blue Ford over there, underneath it. And then I'll hook it onto the safety chain of the big trailer before I unhooked it off the Ford. And luckily I did, because the next thing you know, the bloody thing started running backwards down the bloody hill, bang, and the chain grabbed hold of it and hung onto it. And the guy said, oh shit, what are we going to do now? I said, well, I told you that, didn't I? So then we had to put his tow winch down underneath the Ford and tow the trailer up and re-chock the wheels, because it jumped over the lumps of wood, because the back wheels went up in the air and went over the lumps of wood. And figured he was going to go roll down the bloody motorway. And of course all the cars are coming this way, coming up the hill, up the motorway, 3 lanes of traffic. They come up to do 110 k's an hour, and here's this bloody trailer about to go rolling down off the side of the road and smash into him head on. So again, I taught the tow truck driver a trick about, mate, you don't ever undo a trailer off the back of a car on a motorway pointing up a hill with the front handbrakes on. So anyway, we worked that one out. So I ended up chaining the big trailer onto a pole, an actual steel pole on the side of the motorway, the big motorway sign poles. Chained onto that, and then we dropped the chain out from underneath the Ford, towed the Ford up onto the back of the tow truck, and then he backed the tow truck down onto the big trailer, hooked the big trailer on. And he said, well, where about you going with this? And I said, okay, so we picked up all the chains, and by this time I'm getting bloody knackered, mate. I was knackered. I already loaded the trailer up. I've been up since 6 o'clock in the morning. This is about 6 o'clock at night. I'm bloody absolutely knackered. This is about 15 years ago. Anyway, we finally managed to get the trailer, still with a safety chain hooked onto the road sign, and we hook it on the back of the tow truck. Anyway, I said, make sure that's bolted on. He said, yeah, make sure you put the double chain. All my trailer, that double trailer's got a double big, heavy duty, bigger than regulation tow chain on it. I said, I want you to put 2 links onto the back of your tow truck with it. One on the left side and one on the right side, and hook them on independently with a little gap in between the two where it mounts onto the back of the truck. So you follow what I'm saying? So the trailer to the truck, a little bit of slack, and the truck back to the trailer, right? So anyway, the tow ball's on it. So we're going to take this off ramp to go up and go and deliver all the stuff out of the trailer. And the guy said, well, what are you going to do? I said, we're going to drop the trailer up here, because I said, that's where all the stuff's got to go. So we get up out there in front of this guy's house. He said, oh, can you back it up the driveway? And the tow truck driver said, you could be freaking kidding, mate. We're going to park it out here in the bloody street. He says, no way in the bloody world. He said, I'll turn around down the road, and I'll put it on the right side of the road. And then as soon as we did that, we got another chain out, and I had to put my security. I got security padlocks. You can't go get a key cut. You've got to have it's a series. Anyway, we chained it around a power point. Around a power pole, electricity pole, so it doesn't piss off. So next thing I cracked the trailer open for him, and lo and behold, all these great big heavy steel bars sitting on the base of the bloody trailer. I said, what the hell's all this great big heavy bloody steel? Took 2 guys to lift 1 bar out, and there was 20 of them. No wonder it blew me bloody pistons out of me motor. 20 great big steel bars, and took 2 guys to carry them. No wonder the poor old bloody Ford blew its bloody pistons, because the tow truck guy said to me, he said, He said, you know, he said, I got my tow truck in low range trying to get up the hill off the motorway. I'm going, what? He said, I'm in low range, mate. He said, I've got to keep the truck in second gear low range. He said, I'm trying to get up the hill. He said, well, how much weight you got in that bloody box trailer? I said, I don't know. It's only supposed to be a bit of office supplies. So when we opened up the trailer, here's all this bloody loads of crap. Great big bloody, yeah, big steel bars from the shopping counters. You know, where they put the big shelves in the back of the bloody telephone shops. And they have all those big shelves and they keep all the telephones on. And they box them up about 15 boxes high or 20 boxes high. And be about from here to that back fence way down there long. Like way down there long, you know. There was 6 of them, about from here to that back fence long. A bloody telephone shelves. You know, put all the telephones on in the back of this mobile phone shop and right in the heart of Sydney. No wonder blew the poor bloody little motor up over there in that little 4.1 Ford. It was trying, and the guy said, he said, I've got a thing on my truck. He said, you know how much weight we're roughly towing? I said, my trailer's only licensed to carry 1.5, 2 tonnes. He said, mate, he said, we're towing 5.5 bloody tonne. I said, what? He said, yeah, we're towing 5.5 tonne. And one of your bloody Ford blew up trying to get a bloody Maze Hill, because Maze Hill's a big hill like that, sort of, which one we're looking at. It's like that. It's about a 35-degree angle. He said, no wonder you blew your motor up. So I had to get the Ford over there and put a bloody brand new motor in it over here, in the place over here. That was about 10, 12 years ago. So I've had a fully reconditioned motor put back in it. And plus some new transmission. I said, bugger it, I just put a whole new transmission in it. Some dickhead load up, dickheads in my life, I'll tell you. So this is obviously Mr. Omidoy talking candidly. See, everybody sees me sitting on my bed, talking on my bed, you know. Anyway, so I want a cameraman, I want an audio guy, and the ride-on lawnmower, it's going to get fixed. Got the new carburetor coming after Christmas, so all this backyard down here is going to get mowed. Hey, my son Chris, are you watching? Can you come down here and mow the lawn for Dad? I know you'd love to, son. Look, it's not very high. But I'll let you know a little secret. Do you really think I'm going to go out and buy a tractor? Hang on. Do you think I'm really going to go out and buy a tractor and not have a slasher? Slashers are out in the back. Yeah, I'm going to slash it down with a slasher. You think I'm that silly? Hey, you like my old tractor? It's a 1956 Massey Ferguson. It's another vintage car. See that one over there? Next year is vintage. That one over there, the red one. Hang on, sorry, put it on the camera. Next year, that one there comes 30-year-old vintage, which means you have to pay $35 a year registration. $35 a year registration next year. It's already been totally rebuilt. That one over there, that's 2003 Holden Vectra. It's actually a Vauxhall from England. Another heap of crap. It's an east-west computerised car. It's a heap of crap. Beautiful car to drive. Oh, mate. You can sit on that thing there. You can cruise at about 140 kilometres, 150 kilometres an hour out there in the outback, out through the central Australia where there's no speed limit, and you won't even think you're moving. It's a beautiful car to drive. But, you know, one little fault, you're up for $800, $1,000, you know. And the old little Pintara down there, that's already next year, 93. So 93 to 2023, that'll be another vintage car. And that's immaculate inside. All I have to do is respray paint the bonnet, and it's already got a spare boot, 2 spare doors, a spare back window, 2 spare front doors, a spare rear hatch, and other spare parts already pre-painted. So, hang on, come back again. Sorry about that. And then on top of that, I've got the 1977 Holden Kingswood and a 1975 FJ40, which I talked about me going out there today. But see, I've got nobody here to help me. The buddy under the garage and get all the shit out of the road and where everybody dumped everything. And I've got no knee joints. I've got no ankles. So someone's there. Say hello. Come on. I've got a thumbs up. That must be Chris. How you going, Chris? Say hello. Hang on. Let's push this in. This is on the channel. Hello, chat. Anybody there? Come on. It's not showing me nothing. Where are you? Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, still alive. 40 minutes. Yeah. So what I used to do with all these 2 cars with tow balls and these 2 trailers, I used to do scrap metal before the pandemic struck. I was never ever into YouTube. I never had time for YouTube. I had nothing to do with it. What I used to do was scrap metal. We used to drive around here before the Chinese market died because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I used to go out. You see that crap up there in that back trailer? See all that sort of metal? That's just normal mild steel, right? I used to end up getting $350 a tonne for normal scrapyard back metal. $350 a tonne. And I could go out there in either the Ford or the Vectra or the Holden Kingswood, and I'd drive around with that, and I could fill that up without the canopy on it. I could fill it up every day. Because people were just throwing all their scrap metal, because they knew people running around trying to pick up all the scrap metal because they knew China was building it. Now, you're going to say, why was China buying all the Australian scrap metal? Because a lot of people don't see a lot of Americans, Australians and Kiwis and everybody else all around the world, you've all got very short memories. Unless you're in the metal industry, scrap metal industry or building industry, China has gone out, and there's documentaries on Australian current affairs. The dead cities of China, right? They're cities. They built whole cities with hundreds of skyscraper buildings for apartments to put people in. It's not one city. There's over 100 cities with over 1,000 buildings in them, roads, freeways, shopping centres, and thousands of people can go live in them. And nobody lives in them. Not one person. Think about it. Thousands of skyscraper buildings that house thousands of people. And there's hundreds, not 100, several hundred cities unlived in China. And they bought all their scrap metal. And it was part of China's way of keeping the country employed because they're communists. And then when the Chinese people turned around and said, we don't want to go live in a high-rise building. We're Chinese. We like our little veggie gardens. They like to own their little carrots and their lettuce and their veggies and the zucchinis. How many Chinese live in your area? How many little Chinese gardens do you see? How many now in all these cities around the world do you see these little suburbs in the heart of a city where somebody dies and they say, I leave my house to the community, knock down my house and turn it into a community vegetable patch. You see all these fences, you have all these little veggie patches. You got one in your city? You got one there in New York and Chicago and Los Angeles and California, Mexico or New Mexico, and London in England. We got them down there in Melbourne, mate. Right down there in Melbourne, right in the heart of, what do you call it? I can't think of the name. Where all the prostitutes just hanging around down there in Melbourne. I can't think of the name of the joint. And same up there in Fortitude Valley, up around there in Brisbane. You've got all these little veggie patches. You know, they've even got them. Where was I was somewhere there the other day and I went past, and they've got them in Parramatta, and they've got them in this massive, great big bloody veggie garden. I couldn't believe it. There used to be a great big. I remember seeing there was a great big house, and this old lady died. She left her house to the community. She said, I want to bulldoze down. They turned it into a veggie patch. They're growing tomatoes and lettuce and cucumbers, zucchinis and all this. Well, no wonder the Chinese people didn't want to move in these high-rise apartments. What are they going to do? The Chinese old people. They don't want to sit in a bloody car, in a bloody concrete box, 30 stories up in the air, in a city there with nothing to do, and there's no veggie patches, and there's no... Chinese are diggers, mate. They like growing veggies. That's why the Chinese were open arms out here in Australia. They come out here, they build our railways. The Chinese, Chinese built American railways throughout America. You want to know how talented I am? Who built the Great Railway Line across America when it hit the Rocky Mountains? It was the Chinese, and they're blowing up all the mountain tunnels, and hundreds of them got killed because white Americans said, no, you get the Chinese in there, you go do them. And the Chinese are standing there, no, you got to get, no, you do that, or we'll sack you. And they go in there, and a couple of Chinese get killed. And the white Americans say, well, we don't give a shit. They're two bob a dozen, the Chinese. Treated like shit. No, that's true. Don't deny it. Don't deny it. I'll send the documentaries on it. The same thing happened out here in Australia. We had the Chinese come out here to Ballarat and Bendigo. What did they do? They went out there gold prospecting. And then the white Caucasian white man tried to put pressure on them and try and get their gold off them and rip them off and all this. And now you got Chinatown in Sydney, you got Chinatown in Melbourne, and Chinatown in Brisbane, and Chinatown wherever. But you know what the funny thing is, what people don't realise? Think about it. You go into Sydney, you see Chinatown. And you see the dragons hanging up and everything else. But you don't see a Cambodia town. You don't see a Vietnam town. You don't see a Greek town. You don't see an Italian town. Right? You don't see a Russian town. But you always have a Chinatown. Isn't that strange? Why do we always have a Chinatown in every city? There's always an area allocated to the Chinese. Because it's the oldest civilised population on the planet. Who invented the dynamite? The Chinese. Fireworks. You go back and look up your history. It wasn't the British who invented dynamite. It was the Chinese, mate. Chinese have been using dynamite ever since way back. Chinese are the biggest bloody engineering brains in the world. Look at the Great Wall of China. You can see it from outer space. Think about it. How smart the Chinese are they? And now they've got this Oppo and bloody Huawei mobile phones, and they can listen to your telephone conversation like as I was talking to you here now. If this phone here was an Oppo or a bloody Huawei, they'd be listening to it in China. But it's not. This phone here, I'll guarantee you, is the Samsung. Well, hopefully you're not listening. It's China. I won't tell you whereabouts I've released that new virus over there in China and Beijing. Just a minute. Anyway, listen, I will hope you will stay safe and well. So you want to know what Mr. Hominoid's all about. That's what I'm all about. Just an old man. I'm just having fun before I drop dead. And, you only live once. You've got to enjoy life. You've got to get out and have fun. And if you enjoy my channel, and, like, I'm an Aussie, I drove cabs, all right, for the new subscribers to the channel. Okay, well, you old one, shut up. I know, you heard it all before. But to the new subscribers, I drove a cab in Sydney for 17 years. I drove wheelchair taxis in Sydney, and I designed the wheelchair cabs for the Australian Olympic Games in 2000. I also do all the disused, unused railway lines throughout the state of New South Wales. That's why I've been everywhere, man. I travel all over New South Wales. Everywhere right down to the Victorian border, right up the Queensland border, right out to the outback. And I lived in a great big mobile home bus, which weighed 10 tonne, 12.5 metres long. Now you can go and do the conversions, right? 10 tonne kilos, and in kilos, and 12.5 metres metric, right? Now you go and do the conversion of that. And go down on my channel, you see different times I pull out photos. Oh, this is me building the bus. This is part of the bus. You'll see pictures of it. Eventually it was painted green, right? So I travelled everywhere, like Byron Bay, Bangalore, Lismore, Casino, Wallerawang, Wallingarret, Tenterfield, where Peter Allen come from, out to Moree, Inverell, Atunga. I've been all the way out there through Moree. I've been all out there to Boggabilla. I've been everywhere down to Cootamundra, Canamble. I've been everywhere right down out there to Broken Hill. I've been right out there to Burke. I've been right down to Albury, Jerilderie, Hillston. I've been out there to Echuca. Or the timbers from the house up in the Blue Mountains, that come from Echuca. You ever heard of Echuca? E-U-C-H-A? E-U-C-H-A. Echuca. You go see how far away Echuca is. It's on the Murray River. It's right out there towards the South Australian, Victorian, New South Wales border. And that's where the timbers are in the house up there at Currajong. That's right. And the sandstone in the house comes all the way down here from Warwick in Queensland. It's the old convict sandstone built by the convicts way back in the early days. and they had to hand ship it way back in 1850. It was used in a warehouse in Warwick in Queensland. And we got it shipped all the way down here, and we built a house with it. And then now we extended the house and wrapped the garage, and anyway, I'm not going to go into it. That's my private business. But anyway, this is my little rental property down here in North St Mary's. Why do I have it? Because down the road is a paint shop, motor mechanics, auto electricians. Everything is down here. Everything is just around the corner from me where this house is that I'm renting down here in North St Mary's. Right? It's not my home, it's my workhouse. And that's why my landlord, I told him, I said, I don't want the house as to live in. I said, it's a workhouse. I said, what are you going to do? I said, I knocked on the door one day. This is a quick story. 50 minutes to 35 seconds. I'm going to finish at 1 hour, right? So just hang on a sec. You can go and put the kettle on. Pause it and go and put the kettle on. Whatever. That's an Aussie expression. Or go put the billy on. You know what a billy is? It's a tin pot. You put it over an open fire, boil your water, and then you get a thing called billy tea leaves and put it in the boiling water, and it makes up billy tea. And that's what the guy was having when he sat down next to Billabong. He's boiling his billy tea, waiting for a jumbuck, which is a male sheep. Along come the buddy. Anyway, that's another words. Go listen to Wolf Sing Matilda. Wolf Sing Matilda. Wolf Sing Matilda. Don't listen to that bloody old rocker and that pommy guy. Don't worry about them. They're dickheads. You want your Australia? Come and ask me. I'll tell you. What's up to? Anyway, yes, I travelled all around, done Jerilderie, Gundagai, Tumut, Batlow, Ulladulla, right all the way down to Bega, down the south coast. Drove a country taxi in all those country towns, drove a country taxi out in Bega, drove a country taxi all the way up there at Mawalumbar, landed at Possums, Byron Bay, Tweed Heads, around Tweed Heads, New South Wales, Queensland border right on the coast. Been everywhere all the way out there through Taree, Kempsey, Kendall, Cundletown. There you go and look that one up, Cundletown. See if you can go find Cundletown. Here's another town for you. Go find Cattai. Meow. Cattai. 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 Japanese went out there. They spent millions of dollars doing up a golf course way back in the late 80s. And they come out there and they said, oh, we'll spend millions of dollars and we're going to build up this great big golf course at Cattai. Cattai. Go and have a look at it. Cattai. Beautiful, great big golf course out in the middle of friggin' nowhere. And then all of a sudden the Japanese went broke. Anyway, the New South Wales government had to go and repossess it because the Japanese didn't have the money to pay their taxes. So the Japanese paid to get their golf club. It was worth jack shit, all fully done up, paid by the Japanese. They went broke, they forwarded it, and now it belongs to a private company here in Australia. So we got it back. See, that's why sometimes we sell our stuff over here in Australia, because some silly dumb bastard nation thinks, oh, we'll go down there, we'll go buy Australia out. But what they forget is their economy drops. Now, you look at the Australian economy. You want to smart away. I'm not trying to brag to you. You think about it. We're the global recession there with money all around the world, right? Everybody was losing money. New York Stock Exchange, that collapsed, remember? How well did Australia fare? Australia fared pretty well. We survived the great big depressions through the 1990s, even up through the 2000s. The New York Stock Exchange and people losing their houses, and then next thing they bring out all these TV shows. These guys are running around buying up these $20 million mansions for $500,000, and they spend about $500,000 in them. They do them all up, and then they wait for the market to come back up, and they sell them for $5 or $6 million, and then they get that $5 or $6 million and run around by another half a dozen, and then they make their money because they made their money out of cashing in where people went out doing stupid things and buying top price for a mansion, and 6 months later the stock market crashed and they lost all their money and they went broke. Now here's another fact. There was a house I looked at Homebush in 1993 and they wanted $250,000 for it. In 1997 it was sold at Homebush around the corner from the 2000 Olympic Games. It got sold for $3.5 million. $3.5 million. So the guy that bought it, he only bought it to cash it in, and he ended up selling it to a guy, and then that guy then sold. He bought it for whatever he bought it for, 3.5 million. I think I said, yeah, about 3.5 million, and then he turned around and he sold it in January 2000 for $4.1 million, and the guy's that moved in there stayed there just to get access to the Olympic Games. These are multi-millionaires from America or China or Japan or somewhere. It's more bloody money than brains, bloody idiots. And they bought this house for $4.1 million, went to the Olympic Games. As soon as the Olympic Games was over, they couldn't sell the bastard. So they ended up selling it for $750,000 back down to the original market, because then everybody was no longer coming to Australia for the Olympic Games. It was finished. It moved on. It went back overseas. And that's why I retired driving a cab after the 2000 Olympic Games, because everybody else was going to Beijing and everywhere else, wherever the next 2004 Olympic Games was. See, I'm not stupid. I got out. I sold all my, I sold everything I had before the Olympic Games. I cashed in. I said, see you later. I'm going to go retire. 2001, I said, see you later. I put myself on my self-pension. See you later. Don't need to go to work anymore. See you later. So now I just get out and I make YouTubes and I have fun. So if you want to join me, Mr. Hominoid, in my crazy adventures, places I go, things I see, things I know, I don't even have a bloody street directory in my car. No. I don't have a street directory. No, I don't have a TomTom. I don't have a Navman, a navigator, nothing. I drive anywhere across New South Wales. I don't need a map. It's all in here, in my nutcase brain. So you think I'm a nutcase? Well, if I'm so nutty, how come I'm sitting down here in Australia and I'm not worrying about anything? You're sitting over there in your little neck of the woods and you're, locked down with COVID-19, riots, panics, food shortages, starvation, Christ knows what. I mean, God, go down and look at my last video clip. It just went bloody viral. I had a bloody little bit of lunch up there at Katoomba, up there at the Savoy Hotel. Go down and have a look at it. Bloody thing's already gone over 100 hits. It's only been up there for 3 hours. I had an all-day breakfast, right? It only cost me $10. It's gone bloody viral. Savoy, S-A-V-O-Y, at Katoomba. That's a bloody 1 minute video clip, 2 minute video clip about dinner. Bacon and eggs on a plate with two potato things and a bit of sausage and eggs and bacon and fried tomato and all the rest. It's gone bloody viral because Mr. Hominoid went and had lunch there. It's gone bloody viral, right? But as soon as I did the YouTube clip down there, just down the road, of the Three Sisters, it was a great landmark around Australia, all around the world, and saying you had a couple of hits. But this bloody me going, eating what I eat, where I eat, and people want to know where I eat. This is crazy YouTube world, mate. It's gone bloody viral already. It's already well up over 100 views in the last hour. Get out of look. Savoy at Katoomba. Or eating at Savoy or something. Or whatever I put on. You see a great big pile of bloody... And then there's a picture of my old mate sitting in the background. He's having a hamburger and chips. And he's sitting there going... He says to me, do you always got to film all the food that you eat? I said, mate, I just put it on there for YouTube. I said, people like to see, somewhere around the world, what the food's like in this country. I said, it's an educational video. And he's 76 years old. I'm not that old. But he's getting cantankerous and old. So now I don't go filming with him anymore. Still love him to death. I still go out with him. I still go and have a coffee with him. And he wants to shout whatever else. But anyway, one bit of word of advice. As far as money goes in your life, be very, very wary of Bitcoin. Right, take it from an old dog who's had many of fleas. Right, be very wary of Bitcoin. If you can get your money back and cash in there and get out. Because I'll tell you now, the government's closing in on it all around the world. It's going to hit you. It's going to hit you like the stock exchange collapsed over there in Wall Street. Remember how quick the Wall Street stock exchange collapsed? It was overnight. So get out of Bitcoin if you can now. Get out of it. Cash in your money, piss off, and get out of it. Put your money back in the banks. The banks all around the world are now getting together. And I'm not going to tell you where I get my sources from because I'm not allowed to tell you because it's the government sources. Right? It's from the hierarchies. I can't go into where my family's been all my life. My family's been high up in government. Very high up in government. I've got a lot of friends that are very high up in government. I know what goes on in the world. In the banking, money sectors, everything. Ask me son Chris. He says, oh, you don't? And don't worry about the old man. He looks like a dope. But I'm not a dope. I may not wear teeth, but that's my own choice. I've got brand new false teeth in there. I choose not to wear them. I could go and get plastic surgery, go and get my nose fixed because it's got old and I've got a droop. But I'm not interested in it. So anyway, Mr. Hominoid, I'm just glad to get to know you. And this is my introduction to you, to meet the mad eccentric. And like, share and subscribe. Ring the bell. Tell your friends. Share it on social media. Let them watch this video. You let them judge me for me. Don't you go judging me. Yeah. I don't give a shit what you are. You're black, you're Chinese, you're gay, you're straight, you're transsexual, you're transvestite. I drove a cab for 17 years. You know, go and ask Whoopi Goldberg. Did she meet me? You know, she doesn't know me as Mr. Hominoid, but I drove Whoopi Goldberg around here in Sydney in 1993. Go and look up her Wikipedia, and Whoopi Goldberg was out here in Australia in 1993. And she had an interview with Bert Newton. And she talked about me. She said my name as the cab driver, and I drove around Sydney. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg. Peter Garrett, you know, Midnight Oil. Yeah, I used to take Peter Garrett home. Sir Roden Cutler, the former Governor-General of Australia, New South Wales, sorry. Sir Roden Cutler, R-O-D-E-N, Cutler, C-U-T-L-E-R, Sir Roden Cutler. Sir Roden Cutler House is in Hay Street, Sydney, on the corner of Pitt Street between Pitt and George Street. Turns out I was a cab driver. I don't need a street trick. I know where it all is. All right. Okay, one last one. All right, you smarty pants all around the world. There's one street in Sydney does not have a cross street. Market, King, George, Pitt, right? Pitt crosses George. Pitt crosses Market, George crosses King, Pitt crosses Market, Pitt crosses King, right? There's only one street in Sydney that does not have a cross street. But Cars Hill can drive in there, but it's not a street that they enter in to get into the street. So you want to be a smarty pants, you want to see how smart I am, you go and leave me a comment. You tell me the name of the only street in Sydney, Australia that does not have a cross street to get access to it, right? You go find it. You want something to do, you want to see how smart this old radio taxi operator used to be. I used to sit in the radio room, car back now, City Northwest goes to Bondi, car back now, City goes to Campbelltown. Northwest, northeast, southeast, centre west, northwest, centre east, whatever, right? Mate, I used to, I even dispatched taxi jobs from Sydney to Brisbane and Sydney to Melbourne. I was an adjudicator. I was a judge. You know what a Sydney to Melbourne taxi fare was worth way back in 1990? Thousands of dollars, mate. And there's no way in the world I could be corruptible because everything was recorded on tape. And I had to play by the rules. I was a judge. That's why I still have my honesty. So, you want a good friend? I'll be your friend down here in Australia. I'll tell you things. You want to know something? You want to come down to Australia? Don't be a wagga wagga. A kookaburra. A crow. Right? A crow is a wagga. Right? And wagga wagga is land of many crows. Mwooloobar means my campsite. And Mwooloobar also means land of many possums. Right? Okay? So there you go. All right. I still haven't got an answer reply either. I'm over 1 hour, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Nobody's answered this question down on my channel. What was a wallabada? Wallabada. You can't spell it out yourself. Wallabada. As it's said. Wallabada. Right? D-A-H on the end. Wallabada. Where is it? What is it? What was it? See you later, Mr. Hominoid. Oh, hang on. Somebody's up there, number 2. You want to say hello? Come on, quick. Say hello. I'll hit the thing, see who's talking to me. Come on, live chat. Come on. I'm sitting out here in the backyard. Look, I'm out here in the sun. And think yourself lucky. Come on, say hello. Quick. Or else I'll close the channel up. I'm going in. Hurry up. Quick. I'm waiting. I don't bite you, mate. I'm an Aussie. I don't bite you. I love to hear people from all around the world. Mate, I drove a cab for 17 years. I used to love picking up Germans, French, Italians, Americans, Canadians. Mate, I had so much fun there talking to people from all around the world when I drove a cab. It was great. I used to quiz them. Oh, what's the longest road in America? You know, what's the highest mountain in your country? How much rainfall do you get? You know, what's it like living over there? What's the tax system like? What sort of currency do you have? I used to love asking all these foreigners their questions. They used to love it. Oh man, this guy's interested in our home country, and we're over here to see his. I said, yeah, well, yeah, you can pump my brain, I'm going to pump your brain. So yeah, so leave me a comment. Come on, I'm waiting for a comment. Huh? Okay, 2 people there. All right, so from Mr. Hominoid, happy Christmas. I'm sorry, I hope you had a happy Christmas. Have a very safe New Year, and be back here in 2022, right? And let's get me up over the 222 mark of subscribers. Let's go and give it a good whack on the old button. You know, push the subscribe button, ring the bell, notifications, and leave me a nice dirty comment. So like, I fell over in the mud. That's a dirty comment. Australian style. So watch out for your wallabada. And, any girls out there called Anna? Yeah, any girls, you know a girl called Anna? Don't do the Australian thing and yell out, go Anna, go Anna, run Anna, run, go Anna, go Anna. Go Anna is a bloody lizard. She turns around and smacks you in the mouth. You're going to know why. You just call her a bloody primeval lizard. See you later, Mr. Hominoid. God bless, take care. Give me a thumbs up. Come on, number 2, you give me another thumbs up. Come on, I'm watching you. I can see you. Hey, where's my cup of coffee? Hey, I can see you drinking a cup of coffee. Come on, where's mine? Come on, own up. See you later, Mr. Hominoid. You all be good. Take care. God bless. Look after yourself. Get off my channel. Go on, get up. Go on. See ya. You want to leave me a comment? I'm going. I'm going to cry. I want to go drive my tractor. You ready? Look, here we go. Look, there you go. Don't believe me, do you? See, look, I'm sitting on my tractor. Where are your tyres? Look, come on, look. Get off. See you later. Get out of my backyard, you bloody sticky beaks.